This one is using a file folder, and it's got a spine, but I didn't use the spine like the other template's going to be used. So I've used the green covers, and I just glued it down. I didn't put any sort of sealant on top of that, so it's just glued down. But inside is a binder thingy, and then I just used I think I had like a leftover, like a bad print of this one, so I just used it as the inside too. So, but inside is the binder, the Tim Holtz binder thing, and these glassine bags. I put these glassine bags in here, and inside of there is like die cuts, different little die cuts, like, excuse me, or I die cut some tags out of some waste paper, and I used my one of my tabs, my tag tabs, because this, I think here on out there's like only tags. I could be wrong. More tags, more tags, more tags. Oh, these are smaller versions of this printable. See, there's the page template, and there's a teeny tiny size of the covers. I cut down the smaller, the background. There's a background, made double-sided tags. The cover. So yeah, you can make all different sizes. Just so you know, just in case you weren't aware that your printer is capable of doing that. So those are in there. And then, oh, also in the printable kit is these tabs. Whoops. These regular fold-over tabs that match everything. And then there's this one too. That's like the page protector, matches the page protector. That's also in the printable. So these are in here too. Oh no, look, there's more die cuts and some more die cuts. So anyway, I do tend to like cut out more than one of what I need, so I don't have anywhere cool to store it. I used to store it in a box or whatever, but I like this idea. I like it being a book. I like being able to flip through like this. Like, oh, okay, I got tags here. I like it. So I'm gonna show you how I made this real quick. First, I'm gonna need, this is not hard, this is pretty easy. I'm just gonna use, you know that part that folds to make that file folder thicker? That's gonna be my spine. So that's gonna make this a lot easier. So I think I'm gonna start with trimming it. Let me get my paper trimmer out. Okay. So the cover pieces are, let me measure what size the covers are supposed to be. Oops. 7 1/4 by 4 3/4. So I'm going to cut this at 7 1/4 tall, just like this, and this paper trimmer goes through that like butter. I think I've said that before. I'm not sure. So then I'm going to open it up, and I'm gonna go ahead and show that crease a little bit better so I can see. So I'm going to line that score mark right there up to 4 3/4 to the 4 3/4 mark, and I'm going to trim that one side off. Then I'm going to turn it over and do the same thing. Line it up to that 4 3/4. Trim that off. Now I think that is 3/4 of an inch wide. So I'm going to cut another piece of this that's, how can I do this? That's just 3/4 of an inch wide. I'm going to cut a 3/4 of an inch strip, maybe just barely, just a little bit less. And that's going to help me with my binder rings. Alright, now I can move this out of the way. So let's do this first. So I've got one left. I got one Tim Holtz binder ring left. You know, now that I think about it, these plastic bags would probably fit in there too. If you had stored a bunch of your stuff in these plastic bags, they would fit in there too. Well, look at there. Oh, another idea. Woohoo! Okay, so I'm gonna take these. They come with brads. So take them out, and then you just really want to just try to, you can either eyeball it or you can measure it. Okay, that's not quite right, so that's 1.1 inches. That's pretty close. And my pencil's just, here we go. Just measure it and mark it. That's where your hole goes. And for something like this, I'm just going to poke it with my pokey tool so that it's tighter. It's probably not going to really matter that much because this is just a flimsy little piece of whatever. And before I start to do anything with that, I'm going to put some glue on here. I'm going to use matte medium that I've put in a squeezy thing if I've got any left. And I'm just going to run some. You probably don't have to do this. It's probably not necessary. But I'm doing it. So, you just want to make a damn mess with it. And then line it up on there. Whoops. Maybe I should have got one in first before I put glue on it. Okay, shove that through the hole there. Then you want to make sure that your prongs are going this way instead of this way, because you don't want them to be in this way instead of this way. I don't even know if y'all can see me half the time. Where's the other one? I'm getting glue on the thingy. Okay. Well. Alright. Now I'm just going to let that dry for a little bit. You know what, I just realized I don't have any covers cut out. So let me go find some and I will be back. Okay, well, I had this one sitting here, so I'll just use this page. You know what, I think I'm just going to use my scissors too, if I can find them. And I'm just going to cut it, out by hand. It's really nice. It just doesn't really matter because you can ink up the edges, so if you get off a little bit, it's alright. And it helps to keep a straight line if you use longer scissors like this instead of short, stubby ones, because you have the blade's longer, so it's a straighter cut every time. Oh, I still got one more cut. Oh, 3 more cuts. Boom. Okay. Get rid of these scraps. Oh, I'm going to punch holes in these, even though it's not the right size. I'm going to go ahead and punch a hole. I'm going to have to buy me a new cheap office punch, I guess. Okay, I'm going to ink these up. Okay. Now before, you know what, let's go ahead and add let me think. I'm going to distress the edges. Where'd my other one go? Okay, and the way I got my closure on here, since I did not do any sort of binding, I just put Jesus. I can't remember anything these days. Good grief. What is this called? The binder ring thing. It's a binder ring set. I don't know. Anyway, so what I did before I put that down is I found a seam binding that I like, and I got purple sitting right here. I mean, no way, right? I can't believe I got purple sitting here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that. First, I'm going to take some double-sided tape. This is sequin double-sided tape. And I'm just going to run it down the center here. Just to hold the seam binding. This is lavender snug hug seam binding that I crinkle, and I make a bunch of it at one time because I use it for my shipping stuff too. So I'm going to get a good amount so that I can wrap it around and tie it. That's probably too much, but alright, I'm going to find the center of that seam binding. Oh, it's way too much. Okay, take off the double-sided sticky back thing, and then you just want to stretch it and press it just like that. Alright, so before we wrap it around and tie it, I'm going to add my doohickey thing here. So I'm going to run another piece of double-sided tape all the way down. And then I'm also going to add, I think I'm going to add glue and seal to the back side of here. It dries clear, so it doesn't matter if it oozes. And then you just want to kind of eyeball it to get on there straight. Make sure each end will fold up. Yep. Oh, sorry about that. Alright, I'm going to let that sit and dry while I mess with the pages. Let me go grab those and I'll be right back. Alright, so I went and grabbed some glassine bags. I've got a whole bunch of these. I love these things. These are like one of my favorites. Oh, sorry about that. Alright, so then you want to kind of eyeball it. You want to lay it next to there, and then just kind of generally mark where you think the hole should be. And then I'm going to take another hole reinforcement. So that way I know exactly where to punch my hole. And I think these glassine, they probably would do pretty good without it. I just kind of like the look of it. So before I go any further, and I don't want to punch any more than, you know, if it's wrong, I don't want to be punching away. I'm going to test it, make sure. I'm going to punch through. Whoa. You can punch through more than just one. I just want to make sure. I just want to do a little test. So this is still wet, so I need to be careful. I'll tell you one thing about these Tim Holtz thingies. They are sturdy. Tough little dudes. Okay. Yep. Looks perfect. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a whole bunch at one time. I don't know if that many will fit in my thing. I guess we'll find out. Yes, it will. Just punch a whole bunch of them at one time. Like that. You know, just because I'm curious, I'm going to see if it'll punch through this bag here, this plastic bag. I mean, why not, right? Use what you got. If you don't have glassine, use plastic. I mean, storage is so... It doesn't have to be ugly, you know, when you're storing stuff. I'm just saying. Alright, so those should probably use some hole reinforcements too. But yeah, why not? It works. Okay, I'm not going to take the time to put hole reinforcements on every one of these bags right now. But you get the point. You don't even have to do that if you don't want to. And then these plastic bags work in there too. It's a good idea. I might have to do that a little bit more. But guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to put the covers on. Alright, so let's do that. Well, first let me go ahead and tie this. I've got way too much seam binding. So I'm just going to first tighten a knot. And then another knot. And then what the heck, one more. So that way it can wrap around and tie. Yeah, I keep getting off camera, sorry. Alright, well, now I need to add my front and back cover. This is pretty easy. I think I'm going to use two forms of adhesive. I'm going to use my ATG gun around the edges. Since I'm not going to be using this as an art journal, you can use whatever your favorite adhesive is. So do that around the edges, and then I'm going to use a glue stick in the center, I believe. I'm going to use a Yoo-hoo. Does anybody else have trouble opening these boogers? Okay. And I'm just going to get the center. And then I'm just going to hopefully get it equally centered around there. It's going to be kind of hard since it's... There we go. Nope. Well, it's not on there very good. I mean, centered wise, because I've got that binder thingy in there ready. That's why you should have done this first, Jennifer. Somebody yelling at me, I bet. Through the computer going, no, don't do it. You forgot the covers. I wish I could hear you sometimes. I really do. Okay, now I'm going to do the other side just the same. Okay, now I need to line that up to the other one so they both look like it was meant to happen. And you know, since this is a storage thing, it's that glue, the tape runner and the glue stick is going to hold it just fine. Well, alright, so I like to wrap it around this way. Maybe you can go a couple times. Wrap it around that way. Oh, that one can't go. And then just tie a bow. And that way you've got all that room. Look at that. Look how easy that is. I did put a liner in this, which it did make it a little more sturdy, by the way. Just so you know, putting a liner in it makes it more sturdy. So maybe later I'll put a liner inside of here. I just didn't have anything else printed out. I don't know. I thought I did. Alright, so there is yet another using the binder clips. Fun. So we got the binder rings. Yes, and we've got the tag, actual tag watercolor journal. We got the Coptic stitch. We got the little baby junk, or no, that's got T-dot paper in it. We got the just regular copy paper saddle stitch. We got the junk journal. We got the sketchbook saddle stitch.